into the Danny, February 7th, 2026. And today I'm gonna take you by the 3 biggest pieces of, just kidding, but I am gonna take you by the 3 worst hotel motels in and around the Disney Resort World area. We're starting off, in my opinion, one of the worst, if not probably, no, and it's not probably, it is the worst place I've ever stayed. I didn't even stay here. Just to give you a quick story on Cerro-Lago, it's on 192, it's right next to Old Town. This place has been here forever. It's been here for sure since I was a young kid, but either way. So, years ago, I want to say 3 or 4 years ago, it was still open. This might have been when me and Melissa were first thinking of moving to Orlando. I wanted somewhere cheap to stay, so I saw Cerro-Lago online, and it was significantly cheaper than any other place. Basically, in Orlando, if you're not willing to spend $150 a night or more, you're probably not going to get a good, decent hotel. So think like a Hyatt place, or Hyatt place, or think of like a Marriott Springfield. Anything under that is probably going to be a dump. Well, at that particular time, I remember Cerro-Lago was going for about $52 a night for the entire night. So I said, screw it. I've seen it 100 times. Let me try it out. I'm going to be by myself anyway. And I tried it out. So what happened was, I got here to the hotel. I went into the lobby. The lobby looked like it was stuck in 1993. And I said, okay, whatever, you know, they haven't updated it, no big deal. There was one employee. She looked like she was half asleep. Gives me the key to my room. So I get the key to my room, and I walk into the room. There's a very strong odor of mustiness. Wet. It's kind of like a wet dog that hasn't showered for you know, a couple months. The sheets are all stained. I don't know what the stains were. Who knows? Oh boy, I was not feeling the magic that day. So I keep looking through the room, and it's things are missing, buttons. I remember there was more stains in the bathroom. I remember seeing cockroaches, little ones, everywhere, like on the corners of the floor and stuff like that. So I immediately left out of there, got my return, and went and booked a better hotel. Either way, we're here at Cerro-Lago. What's the point of the video? In today's video, I'm going to be showing you the 3 worst places to stay in and around the Disney area. Now, inside of Disney, you're not going to find that. So it's going to be outside the Disney area. Right now, I'm on 192, which is very busy. It is a Saturday. There's actually a fire happening about maybe 500-600 feet away from me. There's a bunch of ambulances and firefighters. But either way, I digress. We're going to go to the 3 worst spots, and why not start it off with the worst of the worst, Cerro-Lago. Like, subscribe, let's roll. Okay, here we are at Cerro-Lago. It is completely fenced off. It has now been closed permanently. There is a security guard here. He does look half asleep. But yeah, he is a security guard. The property is right now completely fenced off. I don't think I'm going to be able to gain access. I'll ask him, but pretty much, yeah, the property's fenced off. I'm going to walk around and see what shots I can get. This place was the absolute worst of the worst. You could literally stay here for probably, like I said, $50, $60 a night. Yeah, you got to see the pictures online too. It's pretty funny. They make it look a lot nicer than what it actually is. But either way, here's the front entrance. So I spoke with the security guard. It's a no-go. He's not allowed to let anybody on property. So we're just gonna walk the exterior. You actually can see a lot. We're gonna walk the exterior of the property and see what shots we can get. Okay, we're now approaching a set of rooms. Now, if I had to guess what they're preparing to do with this property, more than likely they're going to completely demolish it. And now this is very close to Disney. It is literally 5 minutes away on 192. They're probably going to demolish it, either turn it into a big, beautiful new hotel by the big three, which would be Hilton, Hyatt, or Marriott, or they're going to turn it into a shopping center. So it's going to be one of those two things, if I were to guess. So here you have a set of the old rooms. I mean, just the absolute worst of the worst. I am not kidding you when I say that I would have rather slept in my car. There you go. There you go. And you know, the funny thing is, I remember when I did, my room was actually, I think, right back there, all the way at the back. You can't see it. It's all the way center screen where the brick is. That's where my room was. The funny thing is that I remember when I was pulling up to my room and I parked, I said, boy, this hotel is really empty. The sad part about this hotel is that you can literally walk to Old Town and, you know, have yourself a good time. It was just whoever owned or managed this resort did a terrible job. Well, you know, we'll see what they put there. Definitely has this spot of land definitely has potential. So we shall see. Here's another shot. This is sort of where the lobby continues. It's full. I feel like it's full of mold. Yeah, they're gonna condemn this place. They need to like bulldoze it with like the biggest bulldozers on earth. Here's another shot from the exterior. That's where you pull up right there to let me see if I can get you a little bit closer here, guys. Let's see here. So that's where you pull up right there. Check in. They give you your hazmat suit. Okay, now we're gonna go to the second hotel. Let's get out of Saralago before we catch something. Okay, here we are at the second worst hotel resort in and around the Disney area. It's called the Sun Inn Suites. This place, I wouldn't want my worst enemy to stay here. This place is just, holy smokes. And it's operational. It's still open. We're gonna take a very quick walk around. Not the most savory of characters, let's just say that. I already saw, but just for my own safety, we're gonna make it quick and we'll go on to number 3. Here we are approaching the front lobby. See what it says here. Got a peek inside. New office hours, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Front desk on premises during office hours. Please text. So you gotta like text somebody to get in here. You gotta give them a call and then say, hey, I'm here to check in. We should get see if we're allowed in here. Oh no, it's locked. So yeah, you gotta. Here's the inside, guys. You gotta like call somebody to get in. Check into your room. Got a text. Here's a shot from the front desk area. I did leave my car running just in case it goes down. I can sprint back and get in the Batmobile and get out of here. Here's again another front look. Another look at the front lobby. Wow, this place is. It hasn't been remodeled for years, easily. So look at the stairs. There's a look at the row of rooms right there. The stairs all beat up. The railings all rusted out. Look at that. Look how rusted they are. Jesus. There you go. You know, I don't, this may just be apartments. I'm not really sure, but yeah. Looks like a hotel. Look at some of the rooms. There you go. Then you got the stairs here. Whew. Let's get the hell out of here. Again, like, look at the front. It's all beat up. You know? Front is all beat. Got part of this roof missing here. You got light chandeliers on the floor. The water fountain is obviously not working. And this is really bad. Yep, it ain't all Grand Floridian and Polynesian. I can tell you that much. All right, let's get out of here before I get robbed. Okay, we're at our third and final worst hotel / motel by Walt Disney World, and we're here at the Magic Key. Now, this place, I actually did stay. It's probably been about 10 years. It was after Halloween Horror Nights, and I'll explain. So when I stayed here about 10 years ago, and again, we're still on 192, we're about 10 minutes away from Disney World. When I stayed here about 10 years ago, this was prior to me being with Melissa, I had left Halloween Horror Nights. I needed somewhere to stay. Didn't want to spend a ton of money, so I came here to the Magic Key. Now, at the time, it wasn't called the Magic Key. It was called the Gold something, Gold Bar or something like that. And it was in a lot worse condition. It still is a pretty dingy place. I will say, you can tell they made some improvements. Either way, it's a small little sort of motel, hotel. We'll check it out quickly. And I will say this, it is a lot nicer than the last two places that we've been to. Okay, here we have the front entrance to the Magic Key. And again, you know, nothing that'll blow you away, but at least it's functional. At least it's semi-clean. Well, it is clean. And there aren't any potentially looking criminals hanging outside. Pretty cool. Let's go in the lobby. They really improved this place a lot. All right. So I just went in and asked the gentleman how much a room here is going for. He said about $120 a night. Again, you can't really beat it. You know, anything else, you want to stay at a Hyatt or a Marriott or anything like that, like I said, you're going to be at least $150 starting. Okay, here are some of the rooms. Again, nothing fancy for sure, but compared to the last two places, hey, look, if you're strapped for cash and you want to put $120 free parking, I'm not going to tell you no not to stay here, because again, not everybody can stay in Disney and whatnot, but it's definitely, for a bargain, I guess you could say it's passable. And the nice part, there's nothing in front of you. It's just a giant empty lot. Another thing I noticed about this hotel is that there are a ton of cameras. They're everywhere. So, again, pretty safe considering the price range that you're looking for. Wait till I show you guys the pool. It is unbelievably beautiful. Wow, look at that pool. Holy smokes. You know what the funny part is? That it's actually a very clean, nice pool. Yeah, again, I've seen hotels that are more expensive than this, and the pool is in bad condition, so not bad. All right, back at base camp. I had the front desk guy come out. He started talking to me, got distracted. Yeah, so here are my final thoughts on, in my opinion, the two worst places that you could have stayed and could stay on Disney World property, I was actually pleasantly surprised by the Magic Key Resort. Here are my final thoughts. Okay, let's start with Cerro Lago. Cerro Lago obviously is closed now, but I actually do have experience staying there. It was an absolute dump. There's no other way to put it. I think that, again, I understand somebody owns that, or a company more than likely owns that, but at the end of the day, I try to be as nice as possible with my reviews of anything that I do. But if someone is being egregiously bad, then I'm just gonna roast them. That place, like I said earlier in the video, when I stayed there, when I walked in, and again, I didn't stay there. I walked in and walked out. So when I attempted to stay there, I walked in and it smelled like if somebody just went hog hunting and they left all the hogs in there in the hot summer sun for like 2 months. And then you just walk in there and nobody's cleaned the room. The sheets were stained. There was roaches on the floor, little roaches crawling around. The smell of wet rug. The rug was like a thick rug. Probably had mold on it. What else? The curtains smelled moldy. I mean, I walked in and walked right out. I said, I'm not staying here. I'd rather sleep in my car. So, yeah, Cerro Lago is a place, thankfully, is going to be condemned and destroyed now. You can't even access the main property. So, that's good. The second place I went to, Sun Inn, same thing. From what I could tell, it looked like a hotel or a motel. I know that sometimes like these motels, they will convert them into apartments. I don't think it was an apartment. I think it's still a motel. And it was straight out of, Tales from the Hood. It was just, not the most magical place on earth. As a matter of fact, there were a few people there that, let's just say, they've been to Osceola County Jail at least once or twice. So yeah, the Sun Inn, same thing. The bars of the stairs that lead up into the room were all rusted out. There were parts of the roof missing when you pulled in. The front desk person not even being there, it was just super awkward, and you got to call a number. So again, a complete dump, and I would never recommend for anybody to stay there. Lastly, the Magic Key Resort. Now, I don't remember that place being the Magic Key Resort. I remember it before when it was, I guess previous owners, it was called the Gold something, like I said in the video, but they've really improved it. I think the room rate tonight, being a Saturday night, was a little higher. It was at 120, but I think it's totally worth it. Looks like a real safe space. They have about 340 cameras. No, I'm just kidding. But they do have a lot of cameras. So you're definitely going to be recorded on the outside. And yeah, I guess that just leads to safety. I thought the pool was actually very clean. It was small but clean. The front desk guy was very nice. He asked me for my channel name and whatnot. But yeah, Magic Key is not a bad place. I think that if I was strapped for cash and I needed somewhere to stay, and it has to be near Disney, why not? Okay guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. Not a big thorough video. Sprained my right ankle. It's probably been now, I want to say 3 or 4 days. I was getting out of the car and I stepped on an uneven ledge on some concrete, and I sprained my ankle. So I'm kind of nursing that. I'm already almost back to full healthy, but I did talk to a doctor. They say it takes about 14 days. I'm on my 5th or 6th day, but I am feeling much better. So I can't do too much walking. But overall, guys, tell me if there's ever been an experience where you stayed at a resort and it was a nightmare. Tell me what that was like, and what are some of your pet peeves if a hotel or resort doesn't have dirty rooms, bad customer service, overpriced. Tell me down below. Like, subscribe, I'm out.